Hey Rachel, I was thinking there's something really fascinating about how general knowledge evolves over time, yet some facts stay constant. Like, did you know Antonio Guterres is still serving as the UN Secretary General in 2025?
Oh, really? That's interesting. I actually remember when Spain won the Women's World Cup in 2023. That was such an incredible moment for women's sports, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I love how sports can bring people together like that. Speaking of bringing things together, let's talk about something completely different, NICE's DNA. It's amazing how this tiny molecule, deoxyribonucleic acid, holds all our genetic information.
That's pretty cool. It's like nature's building blocks, right? Kind of like how Jupiter is the building block of our solar system, being the largest planet and all.
That's a great analogy. And you know what's fascinating? While Jupiter is the largest thing in our solar system after the sun, Vatican City is the smallest country on Earth. Talk about contrasts.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. It's amazing how we can have such extremes. Speaking of which, did you know that while the Pacific is the world's largest ocean, Canberra is actually a pretty small capital city compared to other major cities?
hmm And it's funny you mention capitals. A lot of people still think Sydney is Australia's capital. Just like how many people think Leonardo da Vinci only painted the Mona Lisa when he was actually a brilliant scientist, too.
That's true. And speaking of scientists, Sir Isaac Newton's apple story is such a classic example of scientific discovery. Although I sometimes wonder if he really saw that apple fall or if it's just a good story.
Well, whether it's true or not, it's definitely more memorable than memorizing that oxygen's chemical symbol is O, right? Or that there are 206 bones in the human body.
Exactly. And you know what's interesting about oxygen? Plants actually take in carbon dioxide instead. It's part of that whole cycle that keeps our planet going.
That reminds me, Mars, the red planet, has such a different atmosphere compared to Earth. Speaking of space, it's pretty incredible what Elon Musk is doing with SpaceX, trying to get humans to Mars.
Yeah, it's like something out of Shakespeare, reaching for the impossible. Though I guess Romeo and Juliet were reaching for the impossible too, just in a different way.
Oh, speaking of cultural things, did you know that Africa being called the Dark Continent is actually a pretty problematic term? It came from European colonizers who didn't understand the rich history there.
That's a really important point. It's like how people often forget that the Titanic sinking in 1912 was more than just a tragic accident. It led to major changes in maritime safety.
Definitely. It's funny, we're talking about all these serious topics, and here I am thinking about guacamole. Did you know its main ingredient, avocado, is actually a fruit?
Really? That's like how people are surprised to learn that the yen is Japan's currency. It's these little bits of knowledge that make the world more interesting, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's amazing how much there is to learn about our world. Every fact connects to another in some way, creating this incredible web of knowledge.
And that's what makes learning so exciting. You never know where one piece of information might lead you next.